And then you and your brother, my father, Hugh Lynn,
Yeah.
came back from the service, and the A.R.E. began to percolate again. In 1950, there was the publication of Many Mansions and this whole concept of reincarnation.
Yeah, that was the first Junicut seminarist book on Many Mansions. I think it was the first book about reincarnation, and it was popular also. There were a lot of high points like that for the A.R.E., you know, when somebody would make, when Jess Stern wrote the book, The Sleeping Prophet, and when was it Shirley MacLaine got interested in the readings and came down to the beach, and she, I mean, all the publicity with books or people there would be bumps in the interest in the association, and the demand for the membership went up.
What about the future of this work? What do you think are the important aspects for the future of this work? You said, for example, that people actually testing the information in their own lives. That seems important to me, to get the information out in ways that people can try it for themselves.
Well, that's right. I mean, what always Cayce said, even in his readings, it said, don't try to sell this or don't force it on people. It's supposed to be there searching for something. Make it available to them, but you're not trying to stuff it down their throat.
If your father were here today, what would he think of what's going on?
Of course, things that he couldn't even conceive of, like the readings being put on CD-ROMs instead of having to come and read them in the library, of the ability to spread the information on the Internet. I mean, the Internet didn't exist then. Of course, there were things that he couldn't even conceive of, so I think he'd really be surprised if he was.
Sure.
And I think he'd be excited about the fact that there were media, there are media now that can preserve and expand the readings, and there are more people and more members than there used to be, and I think the fact that everything was still going on, I think he would be happy about that.
More people, not only in the United States, but now it's well beyond the United
That's
States.
true. I mean, in those days, I think they were, I don't know whether there were anybody overseas interested, but now there are, what study groups are saying, about 60 countries, I believe.
Yeah.
And its interest has spread beyond the United States, and I hope it will continue to do so. And I think he would be surprised at that.
Yeah.
And the fact that some of the books about it have been printed in different languages and not just U.S., so that other people in
over
other
25
countries,
different languages now.
Other people besides us locally, and people all over the world who have access to it now.
And these life readings, of course, were the ones that touched on this concept of past lifetimes and talents and abilities that could be manifested in this lifetime that were actually begun in past lives. And the readings suggest that we don't need a reading in order to do that. We can watch our dreams, we can watch our natural interests and talents, and get a sense of how to be happy and successful in this life. And I think that's part of the work of the association today.
I know Kat accuses me and said if Dad hadn't said it was a good idea, we wouldn't have gotten married. But I remember one reading where some man and his wife, they were having a little trouble. He asked a question about, when did all this trouble start? And Cayce says, well, it started about 35,000 years ago.
A very traumatic experience for your father was the loss of the hospital, and surely he would be enthused about the fact that we are back on this property, and as you said, expansion of activities on this property.
I think he would have been surprised that they were able to buy it back originally, and the fact that it has expanded so much. Why, I mean, the library here and the other activities, some of the massage therapy school, and all the Atlantic University, the other things that have developed since his death. I think he would be surprised and happy about it.
Hi, I'm Karla, Siedschlag, one of the directors here at the A.R.E. headquarters in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and this is the In the News segment of our show. In this segment, we look at current events and see how they fit with Edgar Cayce's prophecies. It's really quite amazing how accurate Cayce was about future events. For example, in August of 1936, he predicted that at the turn of the century, when we moved from the 1900s to the 2000s, our planet's poles would begin to shift, and that this would be a sign that we were entering the new age for real. What makes this prediction so fascinating is that in November of 2003, NOVA, the PBS television program for WGBH in Boston, reported a startling discovery. Our planet's electromagnetic poles and fields are shifting. The program, titled Magnetic Storm, shows several scientists reporting their findings about the Earth's magnetic field and poles. These scientists indicated that when the pole shift becomes more active, the northern and southern lights, now only seen closer to the poles, will be seen around the world. These wondrous lights will be in everyone's sky. When asked to explain what some of the characteristics of the new age would be, Cayce answered, "In the Piscean age, in the center of same, we had the entrance of Emmanuel, or God among men, see? What did that mean? The same will be meant by the full consciousness of the ability to communicate with or to be aware of the relationships to the creative forces and the uses of same in material environs. This awareness during the era or age, in the age of Atlantis and Lemuria or Mu, brought what? Destruction to man, and is the beginning of the needs of the journey up to that of selfishness. We certainly don't want to do that again. The Revelation says that in the latter days, evil will be bound for 1,000 years, and the world will enter a golden age." Cayce was asked, "What can I do to help bring about this new age?" He answered, "You will have to practice it in your own life. Yes, we just don't get to ride into the new age. To truly participate in the coming age of light and love, we have to practice it in our lives each day." Well, that's it for In the News for this show. See you next time. Visit us, please, at the World Prayer Group site. Its address is www.worldprayergroup.org.
As you can see, the A.R.E. has many ways to help you reach your full potential physically, mentally, and spiritually. It all begins with membership. As a member, you receive monthly inspiration and practical content and practices that you can use to enhance your own soul growth and health. In addition to membership, your contributions go to keep this work available and reaching more souls like yourself. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you here again and at one of our seminars.